Have any of you played in the schoolgirls competition before or anything like that?
My name's Jan and I'm the Female Football Development Manager for WA at the WA Football Commission and at the AFL, which means that nationally I'm involved in developing female football opportunities across Australia.
If you girls are really keen about your football, you could go to Ireland as an international rules player if you so desire. That's sort of the pathway that's open to you. So the more you get involved in this sort of opportunity...
I started as a secondary phys ed teacher and then went to primary teaching. And it was during my primary teaching years that I started implementing football in the classroom. Football got wind of this, got me to present to teachers at their ambassadors' PDs. Then they came to me and said, well, we've got this role as a female football development manager. Would you like to have a go at that? And of course I jumped at it.
I did a lot of umpiring of lots of sports when I was a phys ed teacher, but in terms of a structured competition, this is my third game. I do get a bit anxious sometimes when I miss something and I know in my head I've missed it and you just have to move on. You know, you can't dwell on that because there's other decisions happening straight away. So I do feel sorry sometimes that I've missed a decision that might have impacted on a girl's confidence or whatever, but that's life basically. Once you're out there and you hear the comments from the girls and encouraging one another, they really are focused on what they're doing in terms of their football. It's great. Great game, ladies. Really well contested. Great sportsmanship again. And I've got a few little treats to give you. It was only because we have so few umpires in our system, so few people willing to take it on, and I don't know why you wouldn't want to umpire schoolgirls, that I said, well, as a role model, you know, I work in the industry, I should be putting up my hand. I would come and watch them anyway, so I may as well be umpiring and contributing to them being able to put on their game. So that was an accidental part of my job, but the main part of my job is really talking to people and trying to raise their awareness of the girls' passion for playing. A lot of it's talk. Hi, I'm Jan Cooper, the Female Football Development
Graham Jessica, how are you, Jan?
Hi, Graham. Good. Which one's your daughter?
Nicole here, number 4.
Oh, the one that joined today.
Just never know who you're meeting. What skills have they got? Have they ever thought about volunteering to be an umpire at an Auskick centre, or could they be a potential sponsor for a junior football club? And particularly if I can sort of steer them towards perhaps a female football club who lack funding.
Troy and Steph, they don't necessarily have to be the coaches.
Stephanie Walding is the development officer for the East Fremantle Football Club, and she just happens to be a really good female footballer in her own right. She started life studying sports science and phys ed at Edith Cowan Uni, and she does a fantastic job. And the good part about it is that, okay, she works across both genders, but she has that knowledge and she can provide the role modelling for the females.
Good mark.
Any job in sport, if you've already played it and you love the game and you're a fan of the game, it's just brilliant being in a situation where people are dynamic, they're passionate, they're enthusiastic. Generally, it's just such a vital, energised environment to be a part of. This morning, my first meeting is with some girls from US footy. And basically what they do is study and then get introduced to parts of Australian culture. So I want to find out, you know, what their impressions are of Aussie rules footy, what they will take back to the US, if anything, and what some of the future possibilities might be in terms of forging relationships between the US and Australia in growing female football. A great deal of my work is actually behind the scenes. And we have a lot of meetings that sort of clarify our direction, keep reviewing our strategic plan, planning our strategic plan. It's quite endless, really. A lot of people are really reluctant to get females involved, and they don't see the sense of it, they don't have the time, they don't have the passion, so trying to actually convince them to do that can be a difficult thing.
Because I had a couple of queries.
Yes, please do.
My Rolls-Royce model for this role was that in maybe 5 to 7 years I was obsolete, because it would be totally integrated across the football industry, that if you're the development officer and you just happen to be male, you'd be thinking both genders. So you wouldn't go into a school with a preconceived idea that you were just pitching whatever you were doing at the lads.
Instead, you would go in thinking, all right, I know who the nearest club is for girls to play in, and I know who the nearest club is for boys, and I'm pitching it at both.
So eventually we might be playing the US and Canada and all sorts of countries. So there's a lot to look forward to, particularly for your age group if you want to get better at your football.
You've got an Eagles Guernsey on.
Everybody shares this vision that this is what we want football to look like in 5 years' time, and so I don't see it as being a bother to get out of bed and go to work in the morning when you're surrounded by people who are really keen, interested and energetic.